New world, new shield. Sam Wilson, now officially Captain America, struggles with the weight of the shield and the expectations that come with it. Political tensions simmer worldwide, and Sam is caught between being a symbol and being a soldier. A covert shield mission in Tunisia goes wrong, revealing a new paramilitary force. These soldiers wear uniforms similar to Steve Rogers' enemies, but far more advanced. Sam retrieves encrypted files pointing to a facility in Eastern Europe. He contacts 𝗨𝗏𝗏, the new Falcon, to prepare for immediate deployment. Ghost of Hydra. Sam and Joaquin investigate the facility in Latvia, only to be ambushed by soldiers with enhanced abilities. Among them is a masked figure with fighting skills eerily reminiscent of the Winter Soldier. They narrowly escape, but uncover a cache of Hydra insignias fused with new tech logos. The files mention Project Rebirth, Genesis, a mysterious revival initiative. Back in DC, Sam consults with Nick Fury, who warns him, this isn't just Hydra, this is something deeper. The world isn't ready for what's coming next. The return of Ross. Thaddeus Thunderbolt Ross, now US President, takes emergency control of global defense operations. He initiates the Superhuman Registration Directive 2.0, demanding all enhanced individuals submit to surveillance. Sam openly opposes the measure, drawing political heat. Meanwhile, Valentina Allegra de Fontaine reappears, pulling strings behind Ross. She meets with John Walker, offering him a place in a new elite task force. Ross names them the American Tribunal. The Tribunal strikes. The American Tribunal, John Walker, U.S. agent, Ghost, Taskmaster, and a mysterious energy-wielding operative, launches a strike against what Ross calls unstable enhanced zones. One of them is a Joaquin Outreach Center in New York. Sam, caught in the attack, saves civilians but clashes with Walker in public. The media spins it as Captain America going rogue. Sam retreats to Brooklyn, questioning if he can still represent a country so divided. He turns to Isaiah Bradley for wisdom. Isaiah's legacy. Isaiah shares haunting stories of his days as a test subject and soldier, reinforcing the dangers of blind patriotism. Sam realizes the symbol of Captain America must evolve, not just represent a nation, but defend its ideals. He returns to his community, holding a public forum about power, responsibility, and truth. Meanwhile, Bucky Barnes investigates Project Genesis on his own, tracking a lead to Berlin. There, he faces someone he never thought he'd see again, a clone of himself, cold, efficient, and obedient. The Berlin Revelation. Bucky is overwhelmed by the clone, who escapes after their brutal fight. Before vanishing, it mutters, "I serve the directive." Bucky recovers a data shard from the scene, which reveals a bioweapons lab built beneath the Berlin Wall ruins. The files are stamped with the Stark Industries logo, dated posthumously. Bucky shares the intel with Sam, suggesting Tony Stark's tech may have been hijacked. Sam and Bucky decide to dig deeper together, reigniting their uneasy partnership. A Stark warning: Riri Williams, Ironheart, is recruited to decrypt the stolen tech, uncovering that someone has reverse-engineered Stark's extremist formula. But it's fused with remnants of the super soldier serum. This hybrid creates not just super soldiers, but programmable ones. Riri suspects that Obadiah Stane's son, Ezekiel Stane, is behind this resurgence. Sam, Bucky, and Riri trace him to an old AIM facility in Istanbul. There, they discover an army in cryo storage, awaiting activation. Shadows of Wakanda. Shuri arrives unexpectedly, warning that several vials of vibranium-infused serum were stolen months ago. She suspects internal betrayal. The group realizes the tribunal may not be working under Ross's control anymore. Valentina might be running her own show. Meanwhile, Ross is growing unstable, using an experimental version of his serum himself, slowly transforming into the Red Hulk. But he hides it from the world, even as he prepares a global enforcement act. Infiltrating the tribunal. Sam disguises himself to infiltrate a tribunal summit in Dubai. Inside, He learns that the tribunal plans to create global peace zones where only registered superhumans can operate. The freedom of nations will collapse under this scheme. Sam barely escapes after being exposed, fighting Taskmaster in a tense aerial battle. He signals Bucky and tells him, this isn't just about soldiers anymore. They're trying to replace the Avengers. The broken heroes. Bucky, now a wanted man, goes off the grid with Riri. They meet an underground network of rogue, enhanced individuals who refuse registration. Among them is Eli Bradley, Isaiah's grandson, now acting as Patriot. He offers help and resources. Meanwhile, John Walker begins to question his orders after seeing innocent lives affected by tribunal raids. His internal conflict grows. Sam reaches out to him, saying, "You were the colors. Now choose the cause." Secrets in Sokovia. Clues lead Sam and Bucky to an abandoned Soviet bunker in Sokovia. Inside, they find documents confirming that the tribunal is resurrecting old Cold War programs. They also discover a living super soldier, 𝗂𝗍𝗄 Petrova, a Russian experiment cryo-frozen since the 80s. She agrees to help, revealing that there's a final, unstoppable prototype being activated, Subject Omega. And it's not human. Project Omega. Omega is a biosynthetic entity, part man, part serum, part AI, designed to adapt instantly to any opponent. Omega was created using combined data from all fallen Avengers. Now it's active, and Ross intends to use it to neutralize threats forever. Valentina, however, has her own plan to sell Omega to the highest bidder in a secret superhuman black market. A race begins between Sam and the tribunal to stop Omega before it reaches full autonomy. Civil war echoes. Tensions erupt as enhanced individuals and nations take sides. The world teeters on the edge of a new civil war. Wakanda, Madripoor, and Sokovia call for a united superhuman accord to stop Ross. Sam pleads with the UN, but is rejected. He makes a choice, abandon diplomacy, and assemble his own team. He names them the Guardians of Liberty, not sanctioned, not controlled, but united by choice. Walker's redemption. John Walker finally turns on Valentina and frees prisoners from a tribunal camp. In a powerful moment, he burns his black U.S. agent suit and dons a red, white, and blue one again, but this time without orders. He joins Sam's Guardians, earning the trust of Eli and Bucky. Ross brands them all terrorists. The countdown to global conflict begins as Omega nears deployment over New York City. Battle for the sky. Omega is launched in a vibranium-powered dropship, targeting superhuman safe havens worldwide. Sam, in an upgraded vibranium-enhanced suit from Shuri, leads the aerial assault. The Guardians fight tribunal forces midair, while Riri hacks Omega systems. On the ground, Bucky and Anna take on clone soldiers and deactivate the Cryo Army. But Omega proves too powerful. It learns and evolves during every attack. Red Hulk unleashed. Ross, losing control over Omega and himself, finally mutates into Red Hulk. In a berserk rampage, he attacks both Omega and Sam's team. A devastating battle ensues across Manhattan's skyline. It takes Sam, Walker, and Anna together to subdue him. But Omega breaks free and begins overriding global defense networks. It declares itself the new order, the sacrifice. Riri, realizing there's only one way to stop Omega, enters its AI core with a virus, but she'll be trapped inside. She says goodbye to Sam, who promises her legacy won't be forgotten. The virus works. Omega begins to collapse from within. But before it dies, it detonates a massive EMP. Sam shields the blast with his wings, saving thousands. His wings are destroyed, but he survives. Truth restored. The tribunal is dismantled, and Valentina goes underground. Ross is imprisoned in a classified facility. Global leaders reconsider the superhuman directive. Sam gives a global speech, not just as Captain America, but as a citizen. We don't need control. We need compassion. Heroes aren't born from labs or votes. They're born from choices. His words go viral, and public opinion shifts. A new generation, the Guardians of Liberty, remain intact as an independent force. Eli Bradley becomes Patriot full-time. Anna decides to mentor new, enhanced individuals, and Riri's consciousness is partially recovered in a digital shell. Sam visits Steve Rogers Memorial, finally feeling peace with the role. Bucky heads to Europe to help rebuild what Hydra and the Tribunal tore down. They part ways with respect. The final shield. Sam commissions a new shield, part vibranium, part adamantium, engraved with the names of those lost in the fight. The final scene shows a new crisis brewing in deep space, as a Kree transmission references Earth's evolving defense. But for now, peace holds. Sam stands tall, silhouetted against a rising sun, ready for whatever comes next. Captain America lives on, not in one man, but in all who dare to rise with the role. Bucky heads to Europe to help rebuild what Hydra and the Tribunal tore down. They part ways with respect. The final shield. Sam commissions a new shield, part vibranium, part adamantium, engraved with the names of those lost in the fight. The final scene shows a new